All right, Andrea Mazandi, welcome to the Breaking and Entering Brand Side podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the work. I do these daily videos recapping the best stuff in advertising news every day, 60-second videos. We saw the work that StreetEasy put out, put it on our whiteboard, and usually we move on to the next thing. But it was such a great campaign that I wanted to talk with somebody that made the work, was a part of that process. And now we are talking. I want to get right into it. So can you tell us your role at StreetEasy and what you do there?
Yes, I am the principal brand strategist at StreetEasy, which is sort of a long title for a role that kind of covers many, many different things. But shortest version is that I essentially tell the creative teams or share with the creative teams the insights that help us determine where we should be going as a business in terms of how we show up for consumers.
What a cool role. That's the dream for a lot of agency professionals one day to do what you're doing. And I know that you're very integrated with a specific agency from the brand side to the agency partner. We're going to pause there. For the people that don't know, because I live in New York, but what is StreetEasy? Explain to the people.
Yeah, StreetEasy is the Zillow brand built for NYC. That's our real tagline. But essentially, if you live in New York City and you want to find an apartment to rent, to buy, or even to sell, StreetEasy is the platform on which you are almost certainly doing that.
And my experience was I was moving from Chicago to New York, and I already had some friends in New York. They go, you got to get on StreetEasy, download, start looking pretty soon, get it rolling. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I was like, what is this app? And then I download it. So seamless. I'm looking for apartments. You can filter it, fee, no fee. I went no fee, put in my budget very low, 1 bedroom, I split it with my buddy, and it was there and it worked. So just put some context for everybody out there. But it's a Zillow affiliate?
Yes, Zillow brand. And yeah, to your point, we are built specifically for 79 zip codes, which is, I think, unheard of. Most real estate apps are really broad for the whole country. We are literally built for 79 zip codes in New York City. And it worked so seamlessly for you and for everybody else, myself included, before I worked there, because the platform is really built and tailored to the New York City real estate. So that means the search filters are super specific, no fee, to your point, which is really something that outside New York isn't something that but washer dryer in unit, major one. People love that. Big deal here in New York City. You've really made it if you can say you have a washer dryer in unit. So really tailored to the search experience here. And also, just even if you're not in the search, you're kind of always in the search. So a lot of people browsing and always keeping an eye out.
Totally. Some people, that's their hobby. They just go on and scroll around. And I can see that, because I might have to shift around soon.
I mean, the funny thing is the people who leave New York and have become so dependent on us, and all of a sudden they leave and they're like, wait a minute, no one told me StreetEasy is only in New York City. What am I supposed to use now?
Yeah, I was going to ask, does Zillow have something for Chicago or LA? I didn't see anything in Chicago. That was
Zillow has Zillow.
Gotcha. So StreetEasy just for New York. So you got to know your job then is what? To understand what the consumers are thinking. How do we, establish the brand? Give us that context there.
Yeah, I think broadly all of the above, right? So really understand what, as a business, primarily are we focused on, which is providing the best, most seamless search experience for New Yorkers. We say it, search, define, to sign, but I've been at StreetEasy for 8.5 years. And when I first got there, it was really like a listings platform. And as the business has grown, we've been able to increase the way we can support New Yorkers through that. So new to this campaign, and last year's campaign was focusing on buyers, for instance. So my job is to say, okay, here's what we know about buyers. Here's what we are doing to help buyers specifically. Take these insights to our creative partners at Mother, our internal teams, and say, how do we get this message out in the best, most clear way possible.
Love it. Love it. So let's run through the teams. You got the internal side, you got the external agency, which you revealed is Mother, which we
Yep.
love. We love Mother.
We love
Joe,
Mother.
Joe Staples was our judge on our award show. He's been on the show. Love what they're doing. He's based in LA. Are you working with Mother LA, Mother New York, or do you not know? Is it just like whatever team?
100% Mother New York. We are in their Gowanus office. We are a New York City brand. It is super important to us that we have an agency based in New York City that really understands the city. I think specificity is the key to really good creative.
Right.
And
they got to be here. They have to have used the app probably.
Yes.
And like experience and get these insights. Being in this city is so crucial. So Mother New York. How long have you been working with them roughly?
This is our second year.
Nice. And were you a part of that process when you like
the RFP,
searching for any? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you write it or
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Did you write the RFP? Were you a part of like that back end process? Amazing.
Yep.
And then do you kick it off to multiple agencies? Like how many people submitted? Can we talk about that?
That's really an Amanda question, but I would say overall, we keep it really tight. We're not interested in free work. We're not interested in making people dance too hard for us. We really had a clear idea of the agencies we were interested in.
All in New York, probably.
Yeah, all in New York. All had done work that we admired and we felt had the characteristics we're looking for, specific, personable, thinking out of the box, creative work. And ultimately, we went with Mother in part because as part of their pitch, they really went in depth with how much they are obsessed with New York City and their neighborhood in Gowanus. In particular, they have like a coupon program they shared with us for all the local businesses. And they really took some swings in their pitch and some creative guesses, I think, about what we were looking for, which was a risk on their part. And we were very impressed by that.
That's what you want to see. You don't want anybody thinking inside the box, especially if it's a third party creative agency. You don't want them playing it safe.
Yeah,
seeing some of those
many
guesses.
people do. And I understand that. And I appreciate the conservative nature of that, of not wanting to get it wrong in a pitch and then lose the client because the client's like, well, that wasn't what we were looking for. But what I would say about Mother is they took a big swing and some of it resonated deeply. Obviously, we went with them. Some of it, truthfully, we were like, not so sure about that. Yeah. But we loved the thinking and we loved what they presented and we loved the effort they took and the risk that they took. And ultimately, our creative director, Jason Ferguson, said something that I think is a great thing to think about when you're doing creative work is it's all a leap of faith. Someone can come in with the best presentation, nail it, you work with them, and maybe the work doesn't happen to do that. You have no idea. You're not going to really know till you get in there and you start doing the work together.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So you landed on Mother. That's a great choice. And tell me more about the internal team.
Sure. So there's really 5 of us internally that are working on this. Our creative director, Jason Miller, our designer, hold on. There's really 5 of us that are working on this. Our creative director, Jason Ferguson, our senior designer, B. Miller, and then 3 of us on the strategy side. And then our team at Mother, who's quite comprehensive. We have strategists, our creatives. They're amazing, but also want to make sure we really call out our account execs. They are amazing. And I don't think you can build a really great campaign now unless you have really good account people. I just don't think it's possible. They are the translators for us. They are the people that help you articulate what you're thinking and share that with the creative teams. And they really help the world go round. I just don't think we could do it.
And that's on your team? Or is it on...
that's on Mother's team.
Okay, got it. Yeah, yes.
And Caroline.
Yeah, you got to love them.
They're the best. It's not actually possible to do the work. They're the Swiss Army knife of every campaign.
Yeah, they're the liaison. They're the quarterbacks. They gotta steer everything together. So thank you for sharing. And then tell me about the campaign that just launched. All the lead up first? And what was the brief to them? What did you want to get the consumers to know? Set the stage here for the campaign that just was released.
Yeah. So the campaign has never become a former New Yorker. Certainly, that was not what we went into the brief with. The brief was, we want to continue the work we started last year. Last year was our very first campaign, talking to New Yorkers specifically and exclusively about buying in NYC, which is unusual. 70% of New Yorkers are renters. So
Wow.
targeting this one audience is unusual for us. Most New Yorkers, when they're looking to buy, think they have to leave the city. They begin to think, they're like, I need more space. I need the white picket fence. I need the basement. I need the driveway, whatever it is. And they believe that the suburbs are really the only place they can go. And we know they feel complicated about that. Like, it's not a decision necessarily they're thrilled about, but they feel like that's what they have to do. They don't think they can buy in New York City.
Did you guys do all this? Did you do all this research? Or how did you come up with all this insight? Like, it seems so natural, right? Like,
yeah. I always say, the best work should feel intuitive.
Yeah.
But no, this is all sort of like in the post-mortem, you begin to put all the pieces together. But setting up the brief for them was really much larger, which is like, we want to continue to increase awareness of StreetEasy's ability to help buyers.
Yeah, because it's already known for being like the go-to for renting.
Yeah.
You got that. You locked that in. Like that, you're crushing that.
Yes.
And then to another extension, another offering is the buying aspect. Buying a condo, buying a house, whatever it might be. People might not know that as much. So getting awareness and some affinity for that program was basically the marketing brief, right?
That is the marketing brief, yes.
Right. So like mandatory stuff like that, where you're crafting all that with the internal creatives as well. Are they involved in that process?
We're a super small team. It's about 5 of us on it that work on this. So 3 on the strategy side and 2 on the creative side. So very tight, small group. We try to create a tight brief for them. Our creative director always says, give me the freedom of a tight brief. So I think he's quoting Ogilvy there, but
he sounds great. Was he agency before?
He's worked both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Which is a great help to have. And so we really keep that in mind and try to create a actionable brief so that our creative partners and our strategists have something to come back with us that.
So then you hand it off to them.
Yeah.
Like, rough timelines. Can we talk about that? Like, how long ago? Like, you hand it off, you walk away, you close your eyes, and magically a campaign appears. How does that work?
Yeah, I wish. We start in August, actually, or July. I think we started in July this year, to give you an idea. And so we work on the brief, we present it together, we walk through it together. We do 2 strategy rounds with the mother team to really make sure we have a strategy that we're locked in with and we feel really good about. Ultimately, we present that to higher ups at the company, make sure they're locked in, feel really good about it. And then that is actually really where mother takes the strategy and begins the creative work. And then we do about 2 or 3 rounds on creative. They present a number of different options for us. Usually they sometimes 3 to 4 options, which is a lot. We go back in, we discuss it, really dissect the work, really try to think about it. And then usually do another 2 rounds after that to nail it in.
So there's 2 creative rounds where there's multiple ways in.
Yes.
Like concepts, we'll call it. And they send 3 to 4, and then you whittle it down.
We actually go in their office for the creative rounds.
Nice.
So it's on boards. It's a big day for us.
It's exciting, right? Like,
it's exciting.
You got to look forward to that.
Yeah, it's like a table read almost. Like, you're looking at it together. Everyone's debating it. There's usually a lot of hot takes to be had, a lot of feelings. And I think the wonderful thing about our partnership is that it's a very open and collaborative process. And there's room for feedback, disagreement, push and pull on both sides. I don't expect mother to yes me to death. In fact, I don't want them to do that. I want them to have a perspective. I want them to have a clear perspective and also to help me understand where they're coming from.
Totally. Totally. That sounds so fun. I wish I could be there for that fly on the wall.
It's really fun. I will say it's really fun. We all look forward to it. We get lunch together. And it really helps create this like very communal group. Like I think there's an embed there with mother that is unusual in the way we work, which is that it's not like we just send it off. There's so much conversation happening throughout every stage of the process.
Got it. Got it. So then was there an idea like in one of those creative rounds where you're like, you kind of knew, you're like, this is going to be it. Like, I can't say it out loud because we still need to go and see everything else. Was there like an aha moment where like, this is the campaign route?
You know what's really funny about this year? There wasn't for me.
Okay. That's good. That means all of them were either like all of them are pretty good ideas. Like you could see each one kind of playing out.
Last year that happened. It was like, the perfect thing, and everyone saw it and was like, yes, this is it, right? And sometimes that happens. Most often that doesn't happen in my experience. There's a lot more conversation and understanding around what's driving the creative decisions. And that was really more like this year. They showed it to us and we knew going to be a photography-based campaign. That's a departure for StreetEasy. We love illustration. It's worked so well for us. It allows us to get really deep into the details that we're known for. Like I said, that specificity and not hitting those false notes is so important to our work. It's important to the work we've done in the past. And I saw photography and was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, how are we going to nail that specificity in a one-day shoot? Like, how is this even going to work? And is this even the right thing? Like, we've always done New York City specific creative, and now our creative is very clearly not in New York City. Like it's in the suburbs. And it took me a while to understand that. And again, I think that really speaks to the trust and faith we have as a team that at some point I took a little longer, but our creative team really had faith. They had that moment. B and Jason had that moment. Mother felt super strongly about it. They were very clear that this felt like right.
What about the business higher ups, the stakeholders? How did you coax them?
We're lucky that our senior team really supports the work and the decisions we make on the marketing team.
Oh, they're like, hey, well, whatever you guys say, we'll do it.
And certainly have like feedback and notes, but they trust our instincts and trust the work that we've done, which is amazing.
And then what other so talk about the actual execution of the campaign. The what is it? And like explain it to the people. We'll have visuals and stuff like that we can share. But like, how would you describe the visuals? What's the scene, the creative execution on this?
The creative strategy is really a fish out of water. So what happens when a person who is clearly a New Yorker moves out of New York? They've been lured away by the promise of sprawling acres and white picket fences. And then they get there and what happens? What do they learn? What do they miss? What do they wish they knew before they got there?
That's so good. It's so good. I saw the campaign. I was like, finally, like a classic, just good campaign, clean message all across. Execution makes sense. I was so pumped to see it. And then what are some of those examples in the photography of the fish out of water? How did you capture that moment?
Yeah, we worked with Ashley Armitage. She's a wonderful photographer, also a former New Yorker. So it was great to have that perspective. She brought so much energy and just like professionalism. And if you are seeing the creative, the way she shot that light and captured that to me was incredible. So it wasn't just about humor, but really creating something really artful. We shot in Los Angeles. And I think what's really important to know about this creative is that it was very character driven. Once we knew it was this fish out of water concept, it was like, who are these people? Why did they leave? Like literally, why did DeMar leave Brooklyn in 2003? Like, why did he go? Why did Madeline leave the Upper East Side? What is it that they miss? what do they dress like? We actually brought in a costume designer instead of just working with a stylist because it was so character driven. And I would say the talent on set, the actors and models that we booked, most of them have done acting. It's LA. Were incredible. They brought so much energy. They brought so much knowledge of who these characters were when they came in, and they were incredible to work with. So, for instance, the creative, the grass is always greener with Robbie, who is driving around on the lawnmower. He literally showed up. That is what he looks like. No edits. We had no edits, no notes on the
Stop it.
costume, on his wardrobe. And he could have driven that lawnmower all day, and he did an incredible job. But really, all of the actors on set that day did such incredible work. And I think if you're responding to something in that creative, so much of it is because of what they brought.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So strong strategy, strong execution, strong casting, all of that comes to play there. Now, what's next? The media placement of this. You slap it all over New York, I would say, is like the media brief there. But where
Yep.
does it go? Where does it live?
Yeah. And so this is a big part of my job as well, is sort of the execution and delivery of where and how we show up.
Yep.
This is a full funnel campaign. So we're across 8 different channels: audio, video, social, influencer, out of home, of course. Out of home in New York City, again, people refer to this as the StreetEasy's subway ads. And we love that. Even though we are full funnel and make a huge effort in that direction, people still really look for us on the subways. So we are there. We see a massive social response. I don't even need to know officially when the ads go live from our partners, because I can tell on social I see it, which is really fun. And then this is new for this year. We have a new activation line, 1833 I Miss NYC. We knew these ads were going to reach people who'd left New York City or were thinking about leaving.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, tell me more about that.
Yeah, so we have this hotline set up, which allows people to call who've left the city to share what they miss, or you can just listen to the sounds of the city. Maybe it's too quiet in the suburbs and you need the rhythm of the Manhattan Bridge overpass to lull you to asleep at night. It exists there. Yeah, we've gotten so many amazing phone calls, and I am the one that calls the person back to tell them we would love to use their phone calls in the campaign to share with other people. And we always send them a thank you, which is what they said they missed. So we had one caller who called in to say he really missed the pizza. And I was like, well, what pizza do you want? He was like, oh my God, Prince Street pizza. We're so excited. So he has 2 pepperoni Prince Street pizzas headed his way.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So fun. Amazing. So looking back on this amazing campaign, what has been like some of the key points, or I guess like key advice you would give to anybody on the brand side, key advice to them to execute brave campaigns like this?
I would say keep an open mind. I had reservations and at different points in this. And I think if you have a really close connected team, as we have both internally and with your agency, you can address those and you can have the conversations about it. And I think the work is stronger for those. I'm really grateful for that. They listened to me, that I felt heard, but ultimately, it was, as Jason says, a leap of faith. And you have to have trust in the teams that are there, both our creative director, our designer, and our team at Mother, that they are doing the job and they want this as much as I do, and we'll get there. And we 100% did. So it's a great lesson for me. It's a good lesson, I think, for anyone. And then I continue to be surprised by how many people are excited by the phone line.
Oh, yeah.
The people that have called in, they're sharing like multi-minute long messages about what they miss about the city. And I will say I did not expect that.
Well, that's how you know the campaign resonates. It works. It's based off of real truth, and you're pulling that out and you figured it out. So that's a great sign that it's working. And I know this released a couple days ago.
Yes.
It's Thursday, February 20th right now. When did it officially launch?
2/10.
2/10. Got it. So 10 days ago. So we don't have to talk about measurements, results, or anything like that because I'm sure you're still figuring all that
Yeah.
stuff out. But how you feeling? How's the team feeling
I mean, it's
overall?
great. I mean, when we started seeing the social feedback come in, like I said, we know as soon as the ads are out because we start seeing that
Yeah,
immediately, and it's been overwhelmingly positive, which is incredible. Like getting DMs and people posting about it, saying how much they loved it. We had a TikTok that has had over 100,000 views that a woman posted about the campaigns. Um,
fantastic.
yeah, just a person on the subway who saw it. We didn't have anything to do with it, but amazing response there. And then this phone line has completely taken me by surprise by how passionate and eager people are to share what they miss.
Well,
Food is really
congratulations. I love
food is
it.
really a common denominator there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your advice at the end there too, giving us a glimpse on what it's like being in your role, all the risks that you have to take, being brave. And I just want to say on behalf of all agency professionals, thank you for taking this risk and really putting this work out there. You're elevating the bar. We love to see it. So, and hopefully it can inspire other brands to take risks and push and keep putting out great work. So nice job again.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay, we will be in touch. Hopefully, there's another campaign coming out. Let me know. We'll get you back on.
Absolutely.
Rock and roll.